Hi there, Athenaeum. It's Mr. Carlos coming to you again from Archway Veritas with another great lesson. Today we're going to learn about the history of fans. So it's hard to believe, but summer is almost here, and in Arizona, we all know what that means. Heat, heat, and more heat. Oh, so much we can't bear it sometimes. So what are some of the favorite ways that you like to stay cool? For me, during summertime, I love swimming in the pool. Or what I like to do is I get one of those spray bottles and I have a little fan attached to it and just miss me all day long. Oh, it's so wonderful. For most of history, however, air conditioners and electric fans and other things we rely on to keep us cool now were not an option. So, how did people cool off for the thousands of years before these wonderful inventions? They would take a swim in a lake or a cool river or a stream, which would be a great way to cool off if it was available, or they would stay underneath the shade of a towering oak tree as well. Perhaps you noticed how I cooled myself off at the beginning of the lesson. What did my hands do? I did what people have done for centuries. I fanned myself. I used my hands, but most often people have created devices to do the job more effectively. Handheld fans are thought to date back to Egypt over 4,000 years ago. The first fans couldn't fold and were used to keep cool by blocking the sun or moving air around. They were usually fixed objects held and carried on a long pole. They were made from silk, feathers, paper, and bamboo. Perhaps you've seen artwork of royal Egyptians being followed around by fan bearers, whose only job it is to keep the nobles cool. How would you like that job? Just wandering around all day, fanning people, making sure that they were comfortable and relaxed. Because fans were often a sign of power and wealth, it is not surprising that King Tut's tomb held several fans. Some were made of ebony with a fan of ostrich feathers. Another had a handle of gold and was covered in precious jewels and gemstones. These fans were beautiful and ornate. The folding fans that we're more familiar with today originated in the Orient. These accordion-style fans became popular in the 7th century. The Japanese modeled their fans to mimic the wings of bats. Oh, that's cool. In China, everyone from empresses to peasants used the folding fans in their daily lives. And like many things, they begin as useful everyday objects. These fans became fine quality pieces of art covered in paper or silk with beautiful calligraphy, artwork, and embroidery on them. So I'm going to introduce Mrs. Debates from Cicero to help you make this cool fan craft.
I'm going to teach you how to make a fan, so let's get some supplies together. So if you have some glue and some tape if you needed to hold better, and some pencils or pens if you wanted to color anything, and I'm going to use an index card. You can use popsicle sticks or cardboard, and I'm going to color my index card, and then scissors, and go ahead and get a piece of paper out, and to make it a square we're going to fold it like this so that you know that's going to be a square, and we just need to cut it. Okay, now I'll go ahead and open up paper, and we're going to fold it about this much across. So if you have glue stick, it's about the width of a glue stick. And then we're going to turn it over and fold it this way. And we're going to keep folding our fan, first part of the fan, like this. And now we're going to fold the fan like this. So try to get it at the midpoint. When it's thinner paper, it's easier to fold because I did it with thicker paper once and it was really hard to get it right in the center. Now what you're going to do is you're going to glue the sides and make and then fold the sides together again. So these two sides, make sure you press it really good. And then if you didn't get right at the center, you can always just fix that with scissors, like that. Now it's even. And then that's one part of the fan. Now you work on the other part, which I did ahead of time to save time. And I did the exact same thing. So you get a square and then you fold it up, like the white part. And then you fold it in half. And I haven't glued it yet, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And then what we're going to do, we have two sides, so we need two more sides. But first we need to glue these two sides together. So go ahead and really only need to do one side really well, and the other side you can just put a little bit of glue on so it doesn't stick to your hands as much. And then you go ahead and put those together. So I already did these two ahead of time, so I did them the same process, and now I'm going to glue one side. So you can have, whatever colors you want together, because then the popsicle sticks are going to go on one of the sides. So I'm going to make it look like this. Now we're going to work on the handle. So while this settles with the glue, for the handle, I'm going to do some designs on it. So you could either do it before or after. It might be easier to do before, depending on what type of designs you're going to do. But I'm just going to do some small designs, so it's not going to be, it doesn't matter if I make the handle before or after. So I'm going to fold it twice like that, and then the same with this one. So I'm going to cut this. And then I'm going to glue it just so it doesn't come apart when we put it together on the fan. And you can even tape it if you want, but I don't want to see the tape. So I'm going to do it like this, and then I'm going to do the same with the other one. Then go ahead and glue that. And now what I'm going to do is put it halfway, or about halfway, so that you can still hold it. And then we're going to glue it, or I can tape it on the back, or I can do both just to make it extra secure. So I'll go ahead and do that right there. And I want to make sure that it's the same size, so what I do is I hold it so that I can see that it's the same size, and now I know where to glue it. So it's going to be right there. So if you line it up with this one, and you just press it against the other pink. Now we have a fan. And we got the handles to hold it, and then to close it. It looks like that. And if you want it to put a rubber band, you can put a rubber band around it, or one of these ties. You can put that around, or I'm just going to put a paper clip like that around, and you can just carry it around like that. All right, hope you enjoyed this video.